I have a fucking idea of a Spider-Man game, and if you take my fucking idea and you do it,
We're
properly,
trying to improve the prosthetics hardware.
you could
I should
easily,
review
I
what
mean,
Doc's been
easily
developing
have it
and
to
double
where
check his work.
you can easily go on and have it to where it's a full-on trilogy of trilogies, where 3 games focus on one character, another 3 games focus on another character, and another 3 games focus on another character. The first 3 games focus on Peter Parker. His first game will be focusing on his high school life, where it seems a bit too cartoonish.
Doc
Because
was trying to improve the actuator's granularity.
because in the uh comics it was quite cartoonish. It was a complete and otherwise sitcom for Peter Parker, but the Spider-Man character is much more serious. It changed during the days of college, and we could go and use the second game as the college years, where there is a portion of each game that is completely and completely and otherwisely dedicated to of that 1 year that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, or a year, or somewhat a week or so before, either like a couple of months or so before Peter Parker becomes the Spider-Man that we know after the death of Uncle Ben, to where all that stuff happened. We could easily see the asshole of what Peter Parker was. We could see his intelligence, but see how his intelligence is not being used properly, and seeing the concerns that his uncle has, showing that he is not this messiah type figure for Peter Parker, but he's just a regular dude that should not be hailed as this giant Jesus Christ figure when it comes to the mythos of Spider-Man and Peter Parker himself. And then he get bitten by a spider. He goes on and bully people that he was bullied at, and then became the bully all the way up to the wrestling gig, the denial of his responsibility, the consequences of denying his responsibility, and the death of Uncle Ben, where he makes a turnaround, but the consequences follows him throughout the game. And there you could easily have it to where the first game starts off with him getting these enemies, getting these nemesis, and doing it as yearly, like a year, a year part, like he just gets his powers. He's in his not senior year, but his sophomore year. That's a third of the game right there. Then the junior year, that's a third of the game right there. And then the senior year, that's a third of the game right there. The junior year is where May This Be My Destiny storyline comes in, and the pushing through to save his Aunt May will be there. And then there is the next game will be somewhere in the line of getting him into college. Start of college is the Spider-Man No More storyline. And everything after the Spider-Man No More storyline is him literally going through the consequences of him walking away from being Spider-Man a bit too soon. And in freshman year, that is when he makes a propagation that he is Spider-Man, that this is his responsibility, that he is the one that will protect the city as best as he could. And then sophomore year, we have sophomore year. Sophomore year is a bunch of downs, lows, a bunch of it. And the lowest that he get is after the death of Gwen Stacy. After the death of Gwen Stacy, he is recluse. He shuns everyone away from him. He tries to stay out of people's life. That is when Mary Jane, that will be getting built up ever since high school during the prom, whatever, for prom dance for senior year happens, or maybe freshman year of college. I don't know which one is better, but we have that going on. And Mary Jane barged in and was the only one that would force herself into the life of Peter Parker voluntarily, and then went on and did
Nice.
whatever he
Super smooth response. See if we can tune the prosthetic's grip force.
be whatever he needs at the moment in time. And then for that, we would have Spider-Man getting more higher, and Peter Parker's life getting higher. But the gang violence is getting more recruit and into every single aspect of his life. And after the whole fit of self-doubt episodes, he goes into a form of, if no one is with me, then they must be against me, and they must be outshined out from my with who I am, whatever the shit. And then the arc is him watching a kid that was once him donning the Prowler suit. We could change this into Miles Morales's uncle before Miles Morales was born, or during the time that Miles Morales was born. We could do, have this be the part. But the point of this is Peter Parker would to go on and find out that he is no different than the time that he was when he decided to not go against when he decided to let go of the actual um let the Robert go. And in doing so, he takes a look back at who he has become, and he discovers that he wants to be friendlier. He wants to be the person that people would go to if there's a bit of problems with them or whatever. So he changed the way that he is by being someone that would butt in into people's lives to try to help them become a bit better into their own life. If you do this, you could easily put in Miles Morales' uncle changes his life because of what Peter Parker did. In doing so, it could go on and echoes in the future with what Peter Parker did and go on back into what he could become with the new character of Miles. But either way, we get to junior year for college. I don't know what that would entail, but that could be where Peter Parker and Mary Jane starts to go out, and also where Spider-Man is invited to be a part of the Avengers. And whatever. Senior year, blah 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 blah, whatever. Then the third game. The third game must have other superheroes involved with it, even if all of the others might have a couple of superheroes involved with it. The third one must have it. Must be a part of the Avengers, like Tony Stark, Captain America, Hawkeye, Thor, Hulk, whatever. And in doing so, in my mind, you can easily have Peter Parker just throw out, why don't you guys go on and make a superhero school? Hell, I would become the science professor or science teacher of the school. If that means that I could go on out and be a hero whenever it's needed, then I'll go. And literally, that would actually solve the money problem for Peter Parker and would allow him to save up for a ring for Mary Jane. About maybe a year after that, he becomes the first superhero school teacher for science. And he would get married to Mary Jane. And then at the end, the birth of May Parker, but also the death of May Parker at the same time, Aunt May. The next 3 games will be focusing on Miles Morales. We figure out who he is, he's not, what he wants to be, and have it to where he wants to help Spider-Man. If go on and say this, he has the spider powers, he has the Phantom Strike, he has the invisibility stuff, he has spider powers, whatever. He wants to help Peter Parker or Spider-Man, and he wants to go on and be, well, a helper in the realm of Spider-Man. So Peter Parker decided to split the city in responsibilities and split the city with Miles Morales in the second game. In the one half is,
That's better. Should avoid bone-crushing handshakes at least.
alright, I'm gonna go.
What's that?
So that I can go on and make a much more better form of a look at alright. Alright. Oh, that's Harlem. Harlem. Brooklyn. 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 Where's Brooklyn? So confused where Brooklyn is. Is that where Miles Morales is at? I have to go on and check. So, let me go on and say this. All right. Let's just say that he's from Harlem. Let's just take this game as a instinct or a example. Um, Peter Parker would take this and down while Miles Morales would take this and up and across if he needs to. And then like these and then it's about the second trilogy is literally about him not needing to take the place of the original Spider-Man. Just make his own path in the world as his own version of Spider-Man. That is literally it. That's all that's there. If you do it correctly. It could be a very beautiful fucking story. That could be truly amazing. And basically the third trilogy would be basically a form of legacy. What does it mean to have legacy? What does it mean to leave a legacy? What does it mean to have something that you never knew that you thought that you would have? And what is a true version of legacy? And that is your children and the way that you lived your life. That is the true version of legacy. But anyway.